real quick. Call Halal Yom Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide. And a sincere shalom to the elect. Yeah, last week there I was trying to get into a lesson there on the pride of the world, okay? This week, Lord will, I could get into it, all right? Scriptures talk about pride and what pride does to the heart, lifts up the mind. And guess what? A destruction comes with that pride. Okay. Let me get into this real quick here. And through their pride, what they do? They call on that JC. A lot of times we're telling the people, our people, that's not his name. Okay. As it tells us, let's get the scripture real quick. Let's go to Proverbs. You know what? Let me see something. Let's go to Proverbs 30 and 4. Start out there. That's why we tell you people, keep leaning to your own understanding and see how far you get with that. I don't understand how people walk around the world with that smile on their face, like everything's they gotta be on drugs, man. All she's doing is walking and smiling, like bullshit. Anyways, let's go into Proverbs chapter 30. Let me get in the NLT. Sounds cold in the NLT. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 4. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 4. Who but God goes up to heaven and comes back down? Who holds the wind in his fist? Who wraps up the oceans in his cloak? Who has created the whole wide world? What is his name and what is his son's name? Tell me if you know. So these people don't know, but in their pride, what do they continue to say? Oh, my Bible says JC, okay? My Bible says JC, that's what it is, right? But you're being ignorant, all right? The scriptures in Revelation, you're ignorant. Scriptures in Revelation chapter 1 and 3 says, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Blessed is he that readeth. Okay? All you fucking people do is just sit back and let this, these wacky-tacky plantation Christianity, pastors teach you a whole bunch of hoopla, a whole bunch of garbage. Okay? Well, my pastor says his name is Jebus, all right? So there you go. Then they say he knows your heart. So if we're getting the name wrong, he knows your heart. Well, if he knows your heart, he would want you to get it, okay? If he knows your heart like you proclaim he does, right? Which he does. But the way they're using it in the contents like, oh, he knows me, I'm good with him. Well, if you're good with him and he knows your heart, you would know his son's name and you know his name, okay? It wouldn't be a mystery to you. This is why we go into 2 Corinthians, 1 Corinthians. Let's get that real quick. Because everything that we're speaking out here damn near is a mystery onto these people. Okay? We're telling them the name is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And they're saying, oh, that was old, that was a long time ago. That can't be his name. My Bible says Jebus, right? So to them, that's like a mystery. They say, well, where did they get this from? Who told them this? Let me go something right here. First Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 7, NLT again. No, the wisdom we speak of is the mysteries of Yahweh. Okay? So the wisdom that we're speaking of, calling out this name, right? Both of their names. You know, when we're going into the Hebrew and certain things like that, that's a mystery to them, okay? But it's the wisdom from on high to us. Because when we go into, let's go to verse 10. NLT, 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and 10. But it was to us that Yahweh revealed these things by his Spirit. For his Spirit searches out everything and shows us Yahweh's deep secrets, okay? So the Most High revealed these secrets. The name, okay? That's the major number one thing. The name. I don't care what they're talking about. I don't even care if they tell you about the MOTB. If they don't know the name, hey, the Lord ain't working with them, man. So imagine they got just about everything. Those, those blacks are Hebrews, so on and so forth. But when it comes to the name, and they saying about Jesus Christ is gonna come back and save them, no, something's off there, yo. Something's tainted, you know? Let me go back to that verse 7. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 7. No, the wisdom we speak is Slakia. No, the wisdom we speak of is the mystery of Yahweh, his plan that was previously hidden, even though he made it for our ultimate glory before the world began. So you see that? Let me read that again. His plan that was previously hidden, okay? He's revealed that plan to us. That's why we know the beginning, the end, and the midst of the times, going into Wisdom of Solomon, all right? He showed us that through the Spirit. But through your pride, you reject it. Through your pride, you say, no, I'm going by that name JC. Through your pride, you say, no, we're not no Hebrew Israelites, we're Gentiles, okay? That's all the pride that's built up in you, and that's all the ignorancy too. Because you don't read. You don't actually pick up the book and actually read. You let vocab alone and all the rest of them swindle you into something, okay? And that's onto your own destruction, man. So going back to Proverbs chapter 30 and 4, what's his name and what's his son's name, if thou could tell. But through your pride and through it being blocked from you, because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, blocks us out. We can see, but they can't see. Many examples is 2 Kings. Elisha's servant, he couldn't see all the chariots about, right? All the angels, he couldn't see that. But the Lord prayed that his eyes be open, that he see it, and then what? He seen it, okay? Let's go to Acts chapter... Let me get another one too. Let's go to Romans 10 and chapter 13. And then we'll go to Acts chapter 4. Acts chapter 4 and verse 12. Acts chapter 4 and verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. And that's going into Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Okay? If you don't know those names, hey, you don't know because with those names come a reputation. Okay? So that JC stuff, that comes with a reputation. It comes with rape, robbing, pillaging. You know, the image that they set up that says Rabonjir, what do? He had sex with his sister, same with his father. So that image there does not align with Yahweh Shai or Yahweh. Okay? And us coming as ambassadors, you know, onto Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, we gotta watch how we talk, how we conduct ourselves, how we move in this world, right? But that Jiba stuff, that comes with a reputation of nastiness and filth. Yahweh Shai's name carries a reputation to it. Same with Yahweh, okay? And same with the men, the elect that serve him. So that's at a higher standard, way higher standard than the rest of society. But through the pride and ignorancy of our people, they don't see this. They don't understand it. They want to go to that Jeebus crap. And that Jeebus crap don't hold no titles, no weight. It's of filth, it's of sloth. So neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved, and only through that name, yo. And like I said, it comes with a reputation. And the men who are actually going to do the work and will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they're actually going to follow the ways of Yahweh Shai. Okay? The Lord said, "This is my well-beloved son, hear ye him." I think in Mark 9 and 6, or 6 and 9, where it tells them a cloud overshadowed them, and it said, "This is my well-beloved son, hear ye him." I can't find it here, but that's who we're supposed to follow after. That's who we're supposed to worship. Yahweh Shai, man. In this time around, Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. And a lot of people get mad at that when we say about worshiping Yahweh Shai. It's through the Father and the Son that we're worshiping. But a lot of people, they get confused with that. They don't understand that word worship. Okay? And who we to give praises to, man? Like I said, the Father said, "This is my well-beloved son, hear ye him." He's well pleased with his son. And Yahweh Shai came, at the time that Yahweh Shai came as Yahweh Shai, he sinned not. Remember what he did to Solomon, right? So as he came as Yahweh Shai, he was a perfect and prime example, all right, of how a man should walk and live toward Yahweh. So let's go into something real quick as well. Let me get Romans chapter 10. Romans chapter 10 and verse 13. "For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved." Okay? In sincerity and truth. The ones who are doing it in sincerity and truth. The one that the Lord is well pleased with, man. Elect. Okay? Well, guess what? You got prideful Israelites out there that know the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And they ain't calling on it. They're calling on Jeebus. Jeebus the Christ. Then you got the other guys saying that you can call on any name that you want to. You can call on Yo Plate Yogurt if you want. Okay? That's highly disrespectful. Okay? On to Yahweh call him that name, even call him that name, Jesus. I hate to say it, but I had to say it there. Even calling on that name, that invokes another energy, man. Like I said, we're walking after the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're coming in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai as ambassadors. And if you're an ambassador of somebody, how that king is how you are. The message that king wants you to, reveal to the people, that's the message that you give. So the message, this gospel, we're looking for the elect, we're not looking for the whole world. So the Lord is not dealing with the whole world. So with that Jiba stuff, invokes another energy, a worldly energy. Do what you want, do as thou wilt. YOLO spirit, you only live once. You can do whatever you want underneath the sun, just believe in him. That's a complete different energy, than Yahweh Shai. And we don't come in that name, Jebus. That's why we know that, hey, you guys are gonna get fucked up. You're coming in the wrong name, you're misleading people. You're telling people to call on that name, it's alright, it's okay, it's cool. Get the hell out of here, man. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Okay? And through their pride, they don't want to call upon Yahweh Shai. Okay? They're talking about, they were taught Jebus. My Bible shows me Jebus, so I'm going to go by that name. The reason why you're just going by that name is because, like I said, in Revelation 1 and 3, you don't read. You just let somebody else tell you something, okay? And the Lord is not working with men like that. Knuckle-dragging niggas, like the Apostle Elders say. He's got some knuckle-dragging niggas. And at the end of the day, you're damn weak. You're not worthy, man. You'd rather this society, you'd rather this world. Instead of to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So anyways, let's get into something real quick as well. Let's go to 1 John chapter 4. 1 John chapter 4 and 1 and 2. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of God, of Yahweh. Because many false prophets have gone out into the world. Yeah, these false prophets have spewed out that name, Jebus. They got 501c3s, collecting the cash. You know what I mean? Trying to look and play a part. Meanwhile, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not dealing with them. These are the false pastors that are causing our people to walk astray, go in error. Okay? As a matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Causing people to err. No, it's in Jeremiah. Yeah. No, it's in Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 23 and 32. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams. Yeah, these guys tell you about the Lord is not going to come for another. Some of these guys saying the Lord is not going to come for another 500 years, another 1,000 years, all this type of stuff. That's a false dream. That's what you do when you want to keep the people asleep, right? If you want to keep the people on edge, you tell them exactly what the Lord is telling them. Watch out, any day now. The angels don't know, and nor my son don't know. I know when I'm going to send him back. Watch and look, be sober, keep watch. That's the people the Lord is dealing with. Not some fucking guy sitting back wearing all purple and what that other guy say about he's a gangster and all this stuff and he never changed and anybody talk about him, you better watch your mouth and all that. Those are not men of the Lord, man. You see, everything is, boy. Everything is playing out right now, man. Everything is being seen and shown. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 8. Now as James and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds, reprobate, void of understanding, right? Concerning the faith. A lot of these guys always laugh at us, call us faith-based Israelites, right? You faith-based Israelites, ha ha ha. Lord told you to abound more and more in faith. You may grow in faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please Him. When you go into Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. So they want to laugh about us about those things, but now everything is bubbling to the surface, okay? Because we in the end, everything is bubbling to the surface, man. Like the Apostle Elder said, IUIC used to have this old, I don't know if they have it still. They used to have this introductory to their videos where it'd be IUIC, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, there's an earthquake, and the next thing you know, all the letters crack and crumble, right? And that's what we're fucking starting to see now, man. We're starting to see that foundation crack, that foundation give in, okay? So like James and Jambres, what does it say? Now as James and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds, reprobate concerning the faith, but they shall proceed no further. Their folly shall be made manifest unto all men, as theirs also was, okay? So we're starting to see all their folly come to the surface, you know? Stories ain't stories no more. Stories is 100% real. It's not rumor, it's not tale-bearing, it's not slandering. It's the 100% truth that's coming to the surface about these different camp leaders, all these different, these different individuals out there. Everything is coming to surface now, okay? On everybody, doesn't matter where you at or who you are. You're doing, cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, Jeremiah chapter 10, or 48 and 10. Everything has come to surface. The Lord is going to choose His elect, man. Not you standing up there talking about, well, we know our camp 100%. That's it. Yeah, all of us is going to make it on. Hey, like the Apostle Elders tell us, anybody talking like that out there, beware of them, man. Because you got individuals who are in this truth for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and then all of a sudden they do a switcheroo. The scriptures tell you, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. And as far as the eye can see, the Apostle Elders, they've been saying the same thing since they came into the truth, right? But then you got niggas like Nate. He's like a fish in a frying pan, skipping around, hopping around and shit. Tossed to and fro with every wind. And if he's like that, that's how his congregation is, okay? Our Apostle Elder's been standing firm, saying the same thing, telling you the same thing, not changing it up, not a little here, not a little there. But these other camp leaders, you see what's happening. This is why going back into 2 Timothy chapter 3 there, and verse 9, all these people's folly is being made manifest before all of our eyes, man. Bottom line, if you ain't right with Yahweh while Yahweh shine, I don't care if you're making 6 videos a day, 5 videos a day, you're gonna get rooted out if you're not right with Him. Eventually the Lord is gonna do this to you, water your ass down. Then you'll be like, because some people, they crept into this, looking for vainglory. I'm the man, I'm the dude, are wishing for that, I wish the camp leader falls off so I can get up there and be the dude, And then they get the position, can't handle the position, and then they start buckling under the pressure. Hey, that's why we gotta pray to Yahweh Shemi Shai that He doesn't take His Holy Spirit from us, man, and that we don't get high-minded. Okay, that's another thing too. Individuals get, they get high-minded, and that's where the pride starts to take root. It starts to, grow up in you. That's why we look at, like I said, how long was Eleazar in the truth for? He was in it for a while. Or better yet, that ain't even really the way, but, acting. How long was he acting for? And then look how long it took. Boom, he got chipped off. Immediately, not even in the truth no more. Gone, chipped off. Not even just bam. That without remedy. Like it tells you, oh, let me get that. He being often reproved, hardened his neck. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 1. He that being often, that's the key there. Often. You might have some brothers that slip, the chain slip a little. The brothers give them a rebuke, an open rebuke. And that strengthens, because when you comfort a brother with these words, when you go into the word comfort, as in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and 18, when you go into that word comfort, it's talking about comforted by the words, consulting, helping them to get a right, okay? Helping that bone to get back into the right position. You got arm on a socket, the brothers there, they're gonna help you get it right back into place, right? And this is what we must do through the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shai for each other. So if a brother sees a brother going off, you go, hey brother, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. But now you got some brothers, or some people, right? And these other camps, they know it because they on that type of mode. So, enough times, I'm pretty sure a lot of times, Eleazar's own men rebuked him. Often. Starting in his own camp, right? Very often. The apostle elders had to rebuke that motherfucker very, 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 very often. So you see, when a rebuke is given, it's given as something to set you right, set that bone right back in place, instead of you walking around thinking you're good and that bone is dangling all over the place. Which, if that bone don't get put back into socket, other things are gonna happen, okay? Other things are gonna happen, such as, fluids are gonna build up in that joint. Soon enough, when you get older, you can't use your hand right. The shit's out of socket. It ain't heal right. Okay. Just like if you had a broken finger, and you didn't go back to the doctor or rib or anything like that. It's gonna heal in the position that it's in, right? But it's not all the way right. It's locked in. So when a brother gives you rebuke, it's to help put back that bone or whatever it is back into socket. And you go forth from there, you heal. But these other camps, they don't do that, man. They just look at it, their men got a whole bunch of wounds out of socket, missing eyeball. And they're not comforted or consulting their men about it. And we've seen that happen with Eleazar. A whole bunch of favoritism was shown. Okay? A whole bunch of favoritism was shown. Alright? Even in that black unconscious community. Come on, the guys are Hebrew. This is how you guys talk to him? You would have thought he was an enemy. Hey, he is an enemy of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. He's walking after his own belly. But let's get back into this. So like I said, when a brother's there to give you rebuke, it's to help put back that bone into socket, that shoulder back into socket. When he's strengthening you. He's giving those words onto you so you may change your way, change your path, put it back into alignment. You understand? He that being often reproved harden his neck. And that's another thing too. Brothers get reproved on something and they stop. Maybe they slip once or twice, but they stop. Okay? But with these guys, like I said, a whole bunch of favoritism is shown. And they continue in that route. They don't change up their ways, they continue in that route. But rebuke is there to change your ways, man. Put you back in the right path, right? Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 1, he that being often reproved harden his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. And that's what happened to that individual. He was suddenly destroyed, and there was no remedy. There was no balm that he could take to get back. And no, the Lord said, like that, take him out, okay? Simple and plain. Take his ass out of this truth, man, okay? Others he could water down, others he could water down. Hey man, these girls are a month, brother. The girl had no eyebrows. She had tattooed eyebrows on her fucking head, on her face. Lord, to smite these bitches too, man. Smite them with no eyebrows. No eyebrows, no underwear, and a bra. Wow. Anyways, going back into this. So break in pieces, break down, hurt, torn, give birth, crush, quench, yeah. So the Lord crushed him, the Lord quenched him, because he was, I'm on fire, yeah? Let's see, yeah? Throw some water on that bitch. So the Lord broke him down, man, destroyed him, okay, crushed him. And that's what you see when you come in a humble, broken, contrite spirit, right? You're at your lowest form. So the Lord basically, his eye could have had a clean slate. All he could have done is beg for repentance, like I said, man. Beg for repentance. Don't be prideful. You know what I mean? Come out and openly, even give your damn self an open rebuke. Tell the people what was going on. And really do it in sincerity and truth. Because like I'm saying, the doors are still open. The doors of mercy are still open, right? Yahweh Shai is not here yet, right? So, he could have walked back repentant, try to come back the right way, okay? But what did he do? He got prideful. He said, no. He tried to say, no, I didn't do it. Then it came out, yeah, he did do it. Then he started crying about things, going weeping about it. He's very prideful with that situation. Instead of being a man and admit it, like it tells you in Job, chapter 40 and 7, gird up thy loins now like a man. Okay? We're all in this flesh. We're all susceptible to go off. Okay? Sometimes you might be in a store, you're trying to maintain in the spirit. People bumping into you and shit, and, you might get a little, frustrated. Hey, motherfucker, or remove yourself from there and just, But at the same time, look, we're all in the flesh. You gotta try to do this. Try to do this to the best of your ability, okay? Remembering how Yahweh Shai walked when he was here on this earth, the best example for us. This is why Lord said, this is my well-beloved sons, hear ye him, right? But, I mean to say, shit, he could have came sorrowful properly. He could have came and, asked for repentance properly. But he wasn't doing that. He was doing it on a scheme, a gimmick type way. But when you come to serve the Lord, when you're coming into his truth, and you're putting off the old man, being renewed in the mind, right? the Lord breaks you down. Okay? The Lord takes away certain things in this life. Shit, you might have had money, cars, women, and Lord, in one swoop, when you come in to serve Him, might take all of that away. Shit, He might give you a jail sentence. You come out of jail, you got nothing. You're walking down the street, John 3:8, you hear the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, then you come walking into the truth. Because the Lord, what? Broke. You know, these individuals out here, like I said, they all got pride on them. And usually their possessions, their worldly possessions, actually, let me get a scripture on that. Their worldly possessions is what's got them by the cojones, as they say. First John chapter 2:16. For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. See? So people pride themselves in their achievements, their money, their cars, all these things, the house that they got. They use those to reflect on and say, look how great I am, right? But the Lord, He's going to snatch all of that away. Because that's nothing but vanity, okay? We're not supposed to pride ourselves on a car. A car is nothing. But like I said, you know, individuals coming in to serve the truth, they may have had all these luxurious cars and the money and the women, and then the Lord just goes like this and knocks that right from underneath their feet. Now all of a sudden that's gone. Now you are broken down to your lowest form, right? You ain't got nothing. You got a job, you ain't got no money, no honey, right? You hardly got a place to stay. The Lord brings you along to hear the word, you know, and lift you up and healed you. But some individuals, they cannot let go of their worldly possessions, man. This is why going back into Matthew chapter 19, let's get it real quick. This is what pride does to you, okay? Blinds your vision, man. Let me get an NLT. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 21. Yahushua told him, if you want to be perfect, go and sell all your possessions and give the money to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come follow me. But when the young man heard this, he went away sad, for he had many possessions. See? So that right there, that pride will hold you back, man. Because he's taking pride in what he's got. You know, oh yeah, look, these achievements right, look, I got this, I got that. You know, I got all these things. But when the Lord told him go and sell all those things and give to the poor, his conscience fell. Because he still had pride uprooted in it. Okay? That's what happened to Alazar or whatever, okay? Sulaki, sorry about that, Bumblebee. That's what happened to Alazar. He had that pride built up in him. Nobody can tell him nothing. He's more than the apostle elders. The guy started yelling, I was gonna fucking kill you, all this, that, all this bullshit. That's all of the pride, that's all the pride that was built up in him, man. Think he was something. The next one, the deacon, Jason, always wearing them fucking hats, talking about he got Mercedes and a Scat Pack or some shit, and GMS is jealous of it, are jealous because of that. These guys come into this truth like some rappers, okay? You'll never see the brothers at camp. We may have jewelry and whatnot, great. But you're not gonna see the brothers at camp fucking jeweled out like they go like they going to Ben the jeweler, Ben the baller, you know? They want the Migos, they just blinging out. This is why we know that, hey, these guys, they still have that worldly fucking pride on them.
I can't get see that camp without my jewelry on. What would the women think of me? What would the brothers think of me? You know? That's how they think. Remember, when you came to this truth, you're supposed to be renewed in the mind, right? You're supposed to, let go of that world. Let go of the world, okay? That's not supposed to be on your mind. Oh, my watches, my jewelry, I gotta shine. I gotta make everybody see that. Look, that's still a worldly attachment to the world. Your mind has still got a worldly attachment to the world, man. You're still thinking worldly. Think about what people are gonna say about you. How are people gonna think about you, right? That's a worldly mind thinking, man. How are these people gonna think about me? How are they looking at me? How do I look to the brothers, yo? You know? That's worldly thinking, man. That's what pride gets you. And these other leaders out here, causing them to err, causing them to go off, causing them to have that type of mentality, okay? Those type of thoughts. The conversations around, hey, this is why it says that our conversation is in heaven, okay? We're not having worldly conversations as these people out here. Our mind is not set up the same way anymore. The Lord done stripped all of that worldly, you know what I mean? Want to get rich, want to get a name in this world. No, we want a name with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Just like I started out, ain't no other salvation in any other than Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, okay? So, we watch all these false pastors out here lie to these people about, the future. Talk about, we got another 1,000 years to go in this bitch. Or we got another fucking 800 years or 500 years, whatever it may be, in this bitch. Not so. That's because they want those people to be misled by, their speeches. Fucking gremlin. Smoking grass and bumper cuts. So let's go into something real quick, because that's the false pastors. The false pastors will tell you 500 years, 1,000 years. We got everything on the table, okay? It's like a cook. The stove is ready, or better yet, like a barbecue. Either way, the fire's ready, the wood's already broken down, kindling. The grill is hot, it's already cleaned off. The food is just in the pot. All you gotta do is take the clamps and put it on the grill. That's what we're in right now. Okay? Everything is set on the table. Everything is ready. But yet here it is, these guys talking about, don't worry, there's gonna be a 1,000-year delay. What do you mean there's gonna be a 1,000-year delay? For what? How? Everything is on the table. If you got, like I said, you got a grill right there, you got the meat right here, the grill is done, cleaned down. Who we waiting for? Huh? You waiting for one of your next people to come from fucking Scarborough or Brampton or wherever? It's gonna take them another 20 minutes to get here? 40 minutes? No, everybody's here. Everybody's here. Everybody's sitting down at the tables. They're ready. They got their forks and their knives saying, we want food. Everything is prepared right now, man. We in that time. Okay? No other time zone is as hot as now. You got the major prophecy right there, the MOTV. All these weak nations have become strong. Everybody got fucking damn near an ICBM missile. Okay? The tensions between these nations is high. Everybody, this is the sixth one, everybody's fed up with Babylon. Alright? So how are you telling me that another 1,000 years? Another 1,000 years, another 100 years, right? This is the things that they say to these people to keep them in the lax state. Okay, in a lax state. So your mind is complacent, right? Your mind's not really thinking about, yeah, he's coming tomorrow. You know, when people get faced with, you know, you're in a sentencing and the judge says, all right, everybody stand, then they start getting nervous. You know, the 6 month, 7 month trial, they come in all, you know, yeah, hey, might beat this. But when it comes down to that nitty gritty, everybody starts to panic and, you know, go in a flurry. So it's a no wonder they don't want their men, right, to go in a flurry, because what? They wouldn't get the money from them. Their congregation will realize, yo, fuck fiat money. It's about salvation, yo. Then they're gonna start listening, yo, what's the name, yo? Yo, this is a MOTV. Yo, what the hell? Everything's on the table. Yo, the fire done set, this, that, ray. That's how their congregation will start to act. So you won't have that much control over that congregation no more. The money won't be rolling in as it used to be. You know? You won't be getting your worldly treats anymore. Because now these men have realized, yo, the truth, you know, basically. And when people realize the truth, that's it. You can't control them like that no more. So it's a no wonder these other camps like Nate, Sakari, all of them talking that shit about another 1,000 years. Because they want that money. They want that Mercedes-Benz. They got that house note to pay. These are basically contingency plans for the false prophets. Okay? The way they're acting and maneuvering themselves, we can see it. These are all just contingency plans. These men don't really believe. Okay? Because if you really believe, you go sell it all. You put it all on the line, like what we've done. We put it all on the line. We're sacrificing our life. In fact, let me get this scripture too. Hundredfold. Yeah, this is the one I wanted. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and follow thee. What shall we have therefore? Okay, so that's exactly what we've done in this life. Okay, we've put off all, we've forsaken all, we've sold, you know, said no way, we're putting away, you know, all this physicality out here. We're putting away all this bullshit out here. Trying to run after the girls, trying to run after the money, trying to run after the world, okay? He said, no, to hell with that. We're done with that. We're going to go after Yahweh Shem El Shai. So in the same context, Peter, you know, he said, yo, we put away all of that. What are we gonna get, yo? And this is what Yahweh Shai answered and said unto him. And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, regeneration, hey, that's going back into reincarnation as well. He shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, the 144. Okay, going into being of the elect. All right. And everyone that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and inherit everlasting life. Okay? You put that one down again. So, this is exactly what we're doing. We're putting off the world. Being ready for that reward that the Lord has promised us. As a matter of fact, it tells us Second Ezra chapter 2. Second Ezra chapter 2 and verse 35.
Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. Flee the shadow of this world. See? Fleeing the shadow of the world, putting it off. Okay? We don't want nothing that this world has to offer, because all this world is offering is for that physical craving, that pleasure for the flesh. All right? We're obtaining onto the spiritual. We're not trying to obtain onto the flesh. We're spiritual beings having a physical encounter. All right? That must be remembered. Oh, well, that must be remembered. Okay? That must be remembered, that we're actual spiritual beings having a physical encounter. It's a lot of, this individual that came up here last week, and where is he? It's damn near almost 6 o'clock. He ain't even out here. I told him, come out here 4 or 5 in between there, and you're gonna catch me out here, but I don't know where the hell he is. And that shows you too, it's not important to them, it's important to us. This is why it's precious. The whole world don't have this. Everybody got Bible and Apocrypha, or in their house, right? But going back again to show you how precious this is, it's a mystery. Okay? And to us these things are revealed, but to the world it's a mystery. Alright? They can't understand it. So that shows you how precious it really is, because everybody and their mama got a Bible in their hand, but yet they can't understand what's going on. They don't even know that, like Moab and Ishmael and all the rest of them, they didn't even know that they're enemies of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And they got a book, they got a Bible in their hand. They fully convinced that the God of Israel is going to save them. That's terrible. That's terrible. See? No underwear. So, we flee the shadow of this world, okay? What's this guy over there doing, man? The cops will get his ass. Look like he under there smoking crack or something. See? I told you, no underwear, yo. He under there smoking some crack. But yeah, that girl there, she's wearing no underwear, man. Things of the world, YOLO. You only live once, right? That's what their mothers always tell them. You only live once. Go get as much. Go hop on every. Go get your knob turned. Lock you. Go get your knob turned. Be a doorknob. Let everybody get a little try here and there. Halloween come up. Valentine's coming up. Don't you want a new one? That's why we don't love this world, man. This world is profanely wicked, okay? And women tell their daughters to do that through what? Through pride and lust. All right? Go just jump on every Tom, Dick, and Harry, until you find the right grip, right? Till you find the right grip. And even then, when they find the right grip, they still looking for another, and another, and another. They got an itch. They got an insatiable itch, okay? That they can't satisfy. Just like the crackhead them. Every 2 minutes they want crack, right? That's the same thing with women. What does it say? Don't give water to God abroad, because when water go and say there's see that? Need a lift, and they got women showing off their breasts on the fucking bus there. And exactly, that's the spirit right there. Because they seeing that like that, they walking outside damn near wearing fucking bras, like just in a bra. I remember last week there was a girl, she had a little windbreaker on, and I know that's a bra that she was wearing underneath there, okay? Fully on not a bra, that's it. Or even them two-piece coming outside looking like you in your goddamn underwears and shit,
You know? No shame. No fucking shame, man. Just like that one there with the blue shorts. You know? No fucking shame. And it's these, you know, these Edomite nation has made this pride. Because when you let a toddler control your household, look what happens. Everybody eating sugar and sweets for dinner and fucking breakfast, dinner, and lunch, right? Like MF Doom said, sugar-coated large squares. So, and like I said, you see, they walk around these bras and and then you go to say something, they want to call the police on your ass. Police will come arrest you and say you're harassing her. Don't tell her how she should dress. You know? Meanwhile, these little fucking scallywags out here passing disease back and forth, man. Anyways, let's continue. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. Flee the shadow of this world. Receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly, and that's another thing too. You got these bedroom prophets. You know, you got these guys that are on YouTube, you never see their face, but yet they know the most, like Adrian Perez. Okay? Yet they know the most, but you never see their face, never see no breakdowns from them. You never see nothing from them. They always shadow up, pop up, type something. You know what I'm saying? But we know, hey, we're out here openly confessing the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Giving you the name, giving you for free. We don't want no money, we don't want no, hey, go to our channel and buy the breakdowns. None of that, okay? Buy the truth and sell it not. Alright? So, let me get back into something real quick here. People got spirits on them, man. Spirits is on them, man. What you looking at, Chinwal? Let's go to Matthew. And through their pride, they don't believe. Let's go to Matthew chapter 16 and verse 4, because they don't want to believe us, okay? That's basically it. They want Yahweh Shai himself to come down here and say, look, you see those guys over there? Listen to them, okay? See those guys over there? Listen to them. That's what they want. They don't want what we're doing right now. They don't want to hear nothing from us. They want an angel or somebody else to come down and start teaching at it. Yo, if Jay-Z was out here, they'd be listening to him. That's why the scriptures talk about when the rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. But when the poor man speaketh, they're like, yo, yo, who's this guy? Yo, get this guy off the fucking, get this guy out of here, man. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 4. Wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. Now what was the prophet Jonas doing? Remember, it says, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. The prophet Jonah, much like all the other prophets, are out there prophesying. Okay, telling you, look, this is what's going to happen. Clean your ways up. You know, change your ways. But, you know, pride, ego. I want the angel of the Most High to tell me. He said that God's working the Spirit by... You read it, 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and 10. So how come that ain't happening to me? I want the angel to come down and deal with me. When did this happen to you? You know, that's their mindset, right? When did this happen? When did this angel come down and talk to you? I want him to talk to me too. Hey, if you're not led by the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you're not gonna get it. The Lord is the one that opens up your eyes to see these things, man. Oh, I went through 100 situations in my life. I don't care if you went through 1,000 situations in your life. If the Lord doesn't see you fit to understand this and to receive of His Spirit, you're not gonna know. You're gonna be dilly-dallying in the world. Okay? So they want the Lord to come down through their pride and ego. They want the Lord to come down and deal with them personally. Sit on his lap and shit. Yes, Lord. You know, that's exactly what they want. We're not good enough for them. Okay? I know this nigga. This nigga used to be in the world doing the most. First of all, we're not niggas. Okay? And when we left the world, okay, we left that nigga shit at the door. And this is why we tell you about guys like Sakari and them. It's a no wonder he had fucking guns. All the guys at camp looking around like this, security. Security? What do you need security at camp? Why? You know, I've been shot at before, so has almost all of us. What are you talking about? Why are you so fucking worried that you have to have guys at camp with fucking semi-autos on them? And not even like little FNs, big ARs and all types of shit. You know? Them y'all that stink. Pretty on the outside but stink. So, you know, these individuals are not faithful. To be a faithful individual, no, not you. To be a faithful individual, you gotta go on the word, okay? You gotta go on the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's why you see in the scriptures it talks about faith. Having faith. Faith is the substance of what? Let's get it real quick. This is why you see those guys out at camp. They got the big ARs and somebody packing heat around the corner from. You know, get on the phone, call Tony, call Jamal, call Tyrone. You know? Hebrews chapter 1 and 11. Now faith is a sign. You know these goddamn people and their fucking pride? Don't walk near my camera like that, you fucking piece of shit. I hope you have a bad day in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Yeah, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. Okay? When we're reading these scriptures, our mind is hoping for the Lord to return with those chariots. Okay? And do that. We know that he's gonna come and hey, the Lord said that he's not a liar like man. So we know the Lord is good on his part when he said that, yo, I'm going to bring the chariots and they're going to do a work here. I'm going to bring the nukes. I'm going to make these men launch the nukes. I'm going to put hooks in Russia's jaws. We're seeing all these things play out, okay? But we didn't need an actual physical sign to see. We have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai that these things would come forth, okay? And when certain brothers like coming back in 2012, 10, you know what I mean? Brothers who came in that era there, 2015, 16, certain things were not on the table yet, okay? So when they come to the surface, it's not like we need to see the physical MOTB. We knew in heart, in part, by faith, you know, by the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that he would execute that prophecy, meaning he would bring it to pass, okay? So when we see these things, we call it a faith booster. We get all excited in the spirit because, hey, the Lord has performed his work. But yet, the rest of the individuals, they sit back, snacking. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They can't detect like how we can detect what's going on. They can't. Because the Lord did not give them that spirit, man. Okay? Going back once again, this is very valuable, very important, man. This is not like, oh, they said, you got one-time Rolex, yo. One-time Rolex, yo, it's worth fucking 50 grand, 100 grand, a million. And there's only one of them made, or two of them made, or peradventure 10, whatever. Or peradventure, it's the only one that was made. This truth is more valuable than anything that you could amount, all the gold, all the silver, all the Rolex, all the cars. None of that can amount to what this is really worth, the value of this, man. So now faith is the substance
of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Let me go into a scripture real quick. The evidence of things not seen, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. The kingdom which is promised unto us, the kingdom which is coming, which is thoroughly approaching this place, man. Okay? And we have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai that will be established. Just like the MOTB and all these other prophecies, the weak becoming strong. Russia, the Lord putting hooks back in his jaw and putting that war mentality in her mind. The other nations becoming strong. What the fuck? Hey, this is why the Lord said, blessed is he that trusteth in the Lord, and cursed is he that trusteth in man, man. Man may run for a little while, but remember what the scriptures say. If it be of man, it shall come to naught. If it be of Yahweh Shem Shai, it shall flourish, man. And the truth is flourishing. Okay? So we don't look at the things which are temporal, but the things which are eternal, the things which are coming. Okay? So going back into this. So in their pride, these people in the world walk in their pride, right? Which is why this scripture says this. Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 12. There's a way which seemeth, okay? Which in your mind you're like, yeah, man, that's right. Just like if you go put toast in the oven, pop it out, you look at it, it's brown on both sides, and you layer it with your butters or whatever you may layer it with, you know? So there's a way that seemeth right onto a man. You're like, yeah, this is the right way. Yeah, okay. But the end thereof are the ways of death, okay? The ways of Yahweh Shem Shai is life and peace, but the ways of this world is death, okay? Proverbs 16 and 25, same thing. There's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. And you're laboring yourself to what? Pride. Okay? As a matter of fact, let me get that scripture too in Wisdom of Solomon. It tells you that we wearied ourselves in pride. Okay? Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse. Start from 5 and 5, I think. 5 and 6. No. Let me start from 1. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and 1. Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Esau, Edom, and these other nations too. Because remember, we're coming back, you know, regeneration, you know, onto the third and fourth generation. Remember, all these other nations, First Maccabees chapter 2 and 10, they all had a hand in our spoil. Or they all had a hand in us, spoiling us, okay? When they shall see it, what? Us being, you know, Lord will be the elect, saved, okay, being beamed up. They shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Yeah, because we're going to be beamed up. You're going to see, whoop, then going up in the air. Okay, because in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, it tells that we should be caught up in the air with the Lord, okay? so far beyond all that they looked for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, a proverb of report.
Oh, and then look at those guys wearing dresses. Man, you guys ain't no Israelites. You guys are just black Africans. You guys came over here by a boat. You should go back by a boat, right? This is all the shit they say about us to us, right? Niggas, spics, wetbacks, all these different names, these bywords and proverbs that they put upon us, right? We fools, you know, the other nations, Esau, Edom, hey, shit, even 2/3 of our people are going to be crying in that day because they've wearied themselves in something that couldn't profit them. Remember, the scriptures tell you in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, that which should have been for their welfare, which is this table, this word, okay? It's for the welfare of who? The house of Israel. Chiefly in this time, the elect, but made for the house of Israel, okay? Yahweh is not dealing with Edom. He's not dealing with Moab. He's not dealing with Ishmael. He's not dealing with the Hamites. He's dealing with who? He's dealing with Yasharallah, his one and only people. Like that one lily, that one flower, you know what I mean? That one chosen pit, that one chosen land. He got his one chosen people. Simple and plain. So going back into this, we fools accounting his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore we have erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the Son of righteousness rose not upon us. We have wearied ourselves. We have wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord we have not known it. What have pride profited us? Or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? Okay? Main point. What did he just say there? He said, what have pride profited us? So unto you 2/3, you know, hey, you barking up the wrong tree, man. You barking up the wrong fucking tree. Okay? No fucking ass. We don't know it. So that's why we say, man, we pull ourselves away from this world. We don't want to go meddling back into this world. We don't want nothing to do with this world no more. This world is passing away right before your face. Okay? And we want nothing to do with this place. This place is when you look around, is there anything to be happy about? Well, for us, the truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, right? But is there anything really out here to be happy about? You can't be satisfied with your kids. Your kids are out there doing a whole bunch of shit, hoopla. You know? Bunch of dumb shit. You know? You can't be satisfied with anybody out here. The wives are running around cheating on the husbands, right? There's no, if you love this place, you're dope, okay? If you love this place, you're fucking dope. Ain't nothing out here to be happy about. Oh wow, a little Mercedes, you know? A little Mercedes that's gonna fucking break down again and catch rust, you know? Oh, I need a head gasket change, man. My brakes, my tires gotta, there's nothing out here to be happy about, man. But when our kingdom is established, then we're going to be happy forever, ever more, okay? We won't have to worry about the pride of the heathens. As it tells you about, I've heard of the pride of Moab. That little nigga is the second, little slanty-eyed nigga is the second most prideful person in this world besides Esau, Edom. Oh yeah, don't forget the so-called black one, but he's the second most prideful besides the so-called white man, okay? The Chinese, Moab, okay? They act like their shit don't stink. And they're running after the so-called white man. When you see how they dress, how they carry themselves just like the so-called white man, okay? So, they're the second most prideful. Because you see the so-called white man Esau, he's the chief of pride. Then you got the Moabites, they're another class of pride right there. They're right below fucking Esau, Edom in pride, man. Damn near running neck and neck, trying to catch up with Esau. But Esau is the most prideful, okay? But we won't have to deal with none of the pride of these nations. They'll know their place right off the bat. If one of them goes off, the scriptures tell us that thy mind shall meditate terror. Remember these nations, what they did to us, eh? They're not off the hook. What these Arabs did to us, you know? Besides the so-called white men and all of what the Arabs did to us, Ishmael, what he did to us, what the Hagarenes, the Hamites did to us, what Ammon did to us. None of you nations is safe. Wait till the kingdom is established, man. Try popping that shit then. Oh, let me go back to that. Because we got our people right now that are following that same way, being prideful and causing our people to err through false prophecy. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 32. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith Yahweh. That's going into these other camps. When you talk about the MLTB, they're like this. That's why the scriptures say that what profit is wisdom or treasure that is hoarded up? Okay? You live your whole life, you die with it, didn't get to spend it, didn't get to put it to use. Okay? Much like wisdom. You're supposed to be out here openly, you know, confessing the Lord's name and displaying that wisdom. Okay? And do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith Yahweh. And Nate, Sakari, they ain't profiting the house of Israel, man. We're telling you the 100% truth. We're telling you what the Lord is proclaiming. Eat this roll and go speak unto the house of Israel. We're giving you his words. That's why Jeremiah, let me get two of them in Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 15. And I will give you pastors according to my heart, according to my mind, right? Which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. But they reject it through their pride. They don't want it. They want the so-called white man's business. They want the so-called Chinese business, right? They're looking out at all these other nations. They did that to Samuel too. They said, go call God and tell him we want kings and judges. And when Samuel heard it, it displeased him. I think that's 1 Samuel chapter 8 and around the 5th verse, 6th verse or something like that. Because why? Our people are always looking out instead of looking in. We have the greatest fool. They don't. This is why this scripture says this as well. Jeremiah chapter 4. Jeremiah chapter 4 and 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. And they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. Okay? They have no knowledge. They have no understanding about what's going on here. They got no fear of the Lord, because with the fear comes all of that. Understanding what's going on, the truth, right? With the fear of the Lord comes all that. It tells, let me get that. I gotta get it. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7. The fear of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So that's 2/3 of our people. They despise wisdom and instruction. They love how the white man is running this system. They don't want it to change, eh? In heart, they say, well, why? Not all of them's that bad. All of them gotta go. Okay? All of them gotta go. And these other nations too. The Hamites, the Moabites, the Ishmaelites, all of them. All of them gotta go. No king can rule. No king can rule side by side with another king. Yahweh Shai is king over all. He coming to take back all these rulerships down. Okay? So that means all you nations, Ham, you Africans, so-called white men, so-called Chinese, so-called Arab, all of them. He's coming to take all of you down. Alright? And you fools that despise his wisdom, you linking and going hand in hand with these people. Joining up with them, mingling. That, like in Proverbs chapter, 104, verse 35 or something like that. They're mingle among the heathen and learn their works. That's why the scriptures, Proverbs chapter, 12 and 26, the ways of the wicked seduced them. Let me see that. Wait. Yep. Let me see this. Proverbs chapter 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. Why? Because the righteous has the rule book in front of him, has the law, statutes, and commandments in front of him. Okay? Oh boy, your car not doing so good, brother. Yo, one of that guy's back wheel is gonna fall off, eh? That's what happens when you don't take care of your shit. So going back into this. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. That's why you see a lot of our people that are looking out to these other nations and they're saying, gimme, gimme. How come I don't have a possession with the world? If the world was made for our sakes, why don't we have a possession with it? This is exactly why they're, our people the way they are, because they're looking at these other nations and they're saying, hey man, look what they got. They got everything. I ain't got nothing. This is why the scriptures tell you that I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants. It's our time. It's our time to pay back what is due unto the Lord. Job chapter 4 and 7. Or perish being innocent. It's our time to pay back what we do unto the Lord. And two, on top of that, the Lord has given us a chance right now through his son to get back in the good books with him. Alright? Like I said, our people are stupid. They want this white G-bus, They want the white man. That's what they want. They want the Chinese, they want the Arab, they want all these different nations but their own. Okay? Fuck these other nations. To hell with them. They don't love us. We don't love them. Okay? It shows everywhere you go. You go in these Chinese people's store, get out, buy it. You go in these Arabs, same thing. They're all looking at you. Hey, Habibi, what you doing? Get out of my store. You think these fucking nations care about you? Though they may make a movie and, you get swallowed up. The ways of the wicked seducing them, man. You get swallowed up by these heathen. They don't give a fuck about you. Indian, Chinese, Arab, all of them. They do not give a shit about you. In fact, you are their fucking toy, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all you are. That's all you are. You're a toy to them, okay? You're a slave. You're to be used. That's all you are to these people, man. And you 2/3, you won't wake up and go, well, I got a good so-called white friend who's cool. Wait till race riots and all that shit start licking. We'll see how cool he is then. Just like in Fallout, that movie Fallout. There was a black couple and a white couple. And them two are all hunky-dory, as they say. Bati and Chris. Okay, can't separate them. But you see when that fucking nuclear alarm shit started going off? The white man, he had a bunker. Ran to the bunker, got over there quick, boom, boom, boom. About to close it. Then the black fella ran over and goes, hey man, Tom, we're homeboys. Man, punch him right in his face. Doop. Said, get the hell out of here, man. So wait till those race riots and all those things kick off. Then they're really gonna see who's their friend. They talk about Tom and Jerry's their friend. Well, them same niggas put us in slavery. Right? So trusting your enemy is just not it. You gotta trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That brother knew. he got it. You know? He had a beard too. Full on beard. But going back into Jeremiah 4 and 22, our people are foolish because they don't recollect these things. They don't pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushai for increase of wisdom. They don't fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai, so they're not gonna get it. Okay? All they're gonna get is what the world has to offer, which is craving for the physical pleasures of this place, getting a name in this place, getting a high status in society, getting a great job. You know, all these things are the like nobody's saying that. Hey, you want a car? You know, put it to use. I want a car because I'm gonna go deliver shit. I want a car because I want to go stunt. Okay? Oh shit, I gotta get some clothes. Or I gotta get some clothes for work. Right? I gotta put it to use. My shoes are falling apart, this, that, rah, rah, rah. Okay, then I go out and I buy. Right? You're hungry. You got no food in the place. Alright, well then you go out and buy. Right? So these people, they're over excesses in this society, man. They gotta have more abundance of this and abundance of that and abundance. That's why when Yahushua told that young man in Matthew chapter 19, go sell all that I has and give to the poor, his face went like, what? The man pulled a Sanford and Son. The man pulled a Sanford and Son. He goes, oh Elizabeth, it's the big one. Here I come. About to fall out. Because Yahushua told him, get rid of all your earthly possessions. Those things that are going to physically weigh you down. Your mind, once again, two kings, right? You can't be obtaining to over here and over here. Nobody said don't go buy groceries. Nobody said if you need a new car, get a new car or repair the car. Nobody said that, right? But the attitude that most people have is, I want to flash that new car. Shit, go buy an old one. Go buy a Toyota from the 90s. They fucking work. Camrys, Toyotas, Hondas, all those motherfuckers from 1994 and shit, they work. Even 89. I see them still on the road, running. Fucking engine got 400K on it. What engine nowadays can have these new cars have 400K on it and still run? Get the fuck out of here. These cars got about fucking 93 kilometers on it and it's fucking already ready to go into the shop. Forget about it. When it gets to 93,000, 100,000, you might as well sell the whole goddamn car. That's why you see people be leasing cars and shit. That's why people are leasing cars and shit, because they're like, what the fuck is the sense of keeping this damn car? It's gonna break down. Let it be on the warranty and this and that. That's a lot of rich people, they show me that. They go, hey man, I don't know time to own a fucking Ferrari, Mercedes. Who's gonna pay for those repairs, man? Just every year, you got pay your insurance. It's cheaper. Just like with the women. Pay her money and let her go home at the end of the year, day and week. Anytime they want to release that car or cut, their service, whatever, they pay a little fee, send it back. Ain't no car in their driveway. The people that live next door to me, I realized this from years ago. I said, these motherfuckers are rich. And how did I know it? And they are. How did I know it? Because I looked around and I said, wait, where's their car? Where is their... You see, when you got people who's trying to be rich, they're gonna floss money, they're gonna show you a little bit of this and a little bit of that. When you got people who know that they're going to be stinky, filthy, fucking rich, they do not show you not a damn thing. They come outside in the most bummiest clothes that you see. Like they go to thrift shops, okay? As a lot of people say, oh, they do it as a trend, as a hobby or some shit. No, they do not. They picked up the same guidebook as all the other rich people, okay? they'll go to a fucking thrift shop and go grab vintage clothing. Levi's that got rips in them and shit. Slippers, brand new slip. What are you talking about? They go pick up a. I'm talking about the ones who know, who have wealth, okay, and are embarking onto generational wealth. But the niggas and the bitches and whoever, white, I don't care, you white, black, or green. Like I said, once you get a little money and you think you rich, they want to do what? They want to floss it off. So a majority of them, when they get their new cars, what they want to do? They want to show it off to the world, right? Just got that bitch face. That girl in the back with the thing, carrying a backpack, she got that bitch face on her, yo. That bitch face. That bitch face, yo. Your jaws clenched real fucking tight. Well, you women nowadays, you're in the mindset of a man can't tell me what to do. I don't need a man. So go ahead and take that luggage all the way home, that laundry, dirty ass underwears, whatever the fuck it may be. But yeah, people who are fucking stinky, filthy rich, they don't do what the rest of the society is doing. Go out to the dealership, buy a car, this and that. Those things, they know, those things are just a show and they die down. Who's, like I said, who's gonna pay for those fucking expenses on that car? When you go in there and you have your mindset, you say, well, this is an expense for me, right? When you buy this car off the lot is right away your expense, right? And don't get those cheap little 2-year warranties because they don't really cover shit. When you walk out of a dealership, okay, what you really should do is get yourself a car that's about 5 to 10 grand and spend just about the same amount on a fucking warranty. Cause the cheap little warranties that they're giving you out, them things don't cover nothing. And all these rich people, they know that. They go, you go to the store, you got a warranty? Yeah. You get a warranty for what? For a tire? The comprehensive or whatever is like $500 or $1,000, whatever the fuck. Remember, you got paid at half. Then they do the rest. But usually, when you're getting those cheap little warranties, it's just cheap little things, man. What happens if catastrophic engine failure happens? You better hope that bitch is under a good warranty. So it's very wise to spend money on that warranty. Okay? Put a little extra money out for that warranty instead of the car. Instead of looking at the car and going, oh yeah, look how it looks. Yeah, ooh. Jake is dumb, stupid. So they don't know. Come there with a buddy who has a mechanic or whatever, and then he open up, he go, hey. See this right here? Somebody done changed this, so be prepared for these problems. Look out for this. Look. Jake don't do that. They turn on the car to go, oh yeah, it sounds nice. Yo, rev it. Bunch of nigga shit, yo. And all they think about is Sally. Wait till I see Sally. Wait till I see Vicky and Victoria. I'm gonna get some head in there. I'm gonna fuck her in the back seat, bro. That's all they're thinking on their mind. Worldly bullshit. So this is why we tell you that, hey, our people are fucking lost, man. The white man got them with their head up their ass or his ass, all right? Trying to think like him. But really and truly, like I said, when it comes to wealth, they ain't buying shit like that. They're not buying shit like that either. Those are just people who want to show you their money, all right? That's all it is, a show of money. So the rich, they ain't buying cars like this. They ain't buying cars like that, okay? That's to show you how dumb our people are, man. Wealth is wealth, okay? Rich is rich. Rich is just trying to play a show. But when you have wealth, when you have generational wealth or just wealth in general, you're not gonna go buy some big Maserati and all this bullshit because you know that's a waste of money. Who's gonna pay for that? Even though you're wealthy, who's gonna pay for that? That's how the wealthy think. The rich though, they say, let me go get the big Maserati and show off to my friend them. The big BMW, the big Mercedes and all this shit. Let me go show them. That's you trying to show your money. But the real rich, they don't do that. The real wealthy, they don't do that. That's you having a fun time. And look, just like I was saying about this nigga right here. Look, two of them. Lamborghini or Land Rover and a fucking BMW fucking some shit. I don't know what the fuck that was. And as soon as the man hit the car, the spear black smoky shit's coming out the back of the car. And it was a jig too. So you see, our people are stupid. Dumb. You trying to show off like you, well, I'm up there. You ain't up there. We're still on the bottom, man. Get out of that car, or even in that car. See how the police treat you when they pull you over. Look at all these other rappers, Kodiak, all the rest of these idiots. They get pulled over by the cops and they want to pull their name, right? Going back into the money, attaching to the name, a recognition within this world. Cops like, I don't give a shit about that. I don't give a fuck. I won't give you a ticket. I don't like your people, okay? That's how dumb our people is, man. They're foolish. They're destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man. And they're destroyed because they don't have the fear of the Lord upon them, first of all. Because with the fear comes the understanding of what's going on here, okay? Yup, let's get this real quick. Because we're going into the pride, right? Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart, in mind, is an abomination to Yahweh. Though hand join in hand, he shall not go unpunished. Yeah, our people linking up with this fucking Edomite and these other nations. And remember, it tells you in Job that their pitney, their seed, shall seek to please us.